You've invested in coaches, you bought the courses, you joined the masterminds, you did the work. And somehow along the way, you stopped sounding like you. You started sounding like them, the mentor, the coach, or whoever, the guru. You're not under motivated. You're not under resourced. You're not uninspired. What you are is overcoached and underseen. Because here's what happened. They gave you their framework, their system, their brain. And when it didn't work for you and the way your brain is wired, they blamed you. They said you weren't disciplined. You weren't hungry enough. You didn't grind hard. You weren't grinding in the dark. You didn't wake up early enough or stay up late enough. You weren't on team no sleep. They blamed your consistency, your commitment. But here's the truth. Their frameworks worked great for them, and it worked great for the other neurotypical people they sold it to. It worked for their brains, for their capacity, for their nervous system. You don't need more coaching. You need someone that actually sees you, to meet you where you are, to help you find your voice and not just install and upload theirs. Good coaching amplifies you. Bad coaches and bad coaching replaces you. Well, which one did you pay for? Okay, girlies, it's December and you're already thinking about resolutions. What is your theme for 2026? What's your word of the year? And before you do all of that, I need you to hear this. Hear this. It's not that you lack discipline. So make sure that whatever goals you're setting for yourself, that it ain't about discipline. That shit didn't work in the past. It ain't going to work in 2026 either. Make sure that the goals that you set for 2026, you consult your nervous system first. That you're not just getting high off of your own hype and you're not in this state of euphoria and planning and making all these goals to be a better this and a better that, but you're not consulting the way your brain works. You're not consulting your nervous system, because those are the places on which you're going to have to execute from. So you're making goals from here, but execution comes from here. So make sure that your nervous system, it operates primarily in a way to defend you and protect you. So it's most 9 times out of 10 going to be in an average state. It's going to be in a steady state, flow, balance. Your nervous system don't like all these highs and lows and ups and downs. That's you. But your nervous system don't like that. That's the mask. That's the pretending. They don't like that. So make sure that you consult with your nervous system first before you start making these plans. Your nervous system does not care about your vision board. It does not care about your plans. What it cares about and what it does is it exists to keep you safe. It cares about your safety and it cares about your capacity. That feeling that you feel when you're doing something out of alignment with your nervous system, that feeling like when you freeze, that's data. That's data. That's your nervous system trying to protect you. So unless and until your nervous system feels safe, you making all these goals that your nervous system is just going to continue to veto. Get that out of here. Not happening. So here's my radical take on it. What if this year you do it differently? What if this year, instead of having all these resolutions to 10x your revenue, grow your list by 1,000 people a month, be more active on social media, on YouTube, on TikTok, or start that channel or that podcast, or lose 10 pounds, or go to the gym. What if your only resolution this year was regulation? What if that's your only goal, is to regulate your fucking nervous system? To get your nervous system stable enough that you can do all of those things from that place. Stabilize yourself. Stabilize your nervous system before you do all of those. What if that's the resolution? Because if it was your resolution all those other years, you don't have to necessarily make it your resolution this year. It's still there. It's still a goal, a desire of yours. But make regulation your goal this year. Regulation over resolution. How about that? It's a bit radical. It's a little different, but that's who I am. The radiant rebel. I like to do things differently. And the autistic side of me sees patterns. And I don't like to repeat cycles that don't work. Stop repeating cycles that don't work. Make regulation your resolution, and let's see how different 2026 can be for you. What's the worst that could happen? It could work. What if it's not writer's block? What if it's actually mask fatigue? What is mask fatigue, you ask? You keep saying that you need to post more, I need to show up more, I need to be on social media more, I need to do more videos. I know, because I've said it too. But that's not the problem. Because you got the ideas, you got the content. Sometimes you even have the energy. But what is happening is every time you sit down to actually do the damn thing, nothing happens. Well, something happens, just not the thing you sat down to do. You get drained before you even get started. And I know that feeling because even as I'm sitting here recording this content, I feel nothing like I used to feel when I would sit down to record content. Like, by this point, I will be so mentally and emotionally drained that I would be able to do maybe 4 or 5 points and then I'd be done. So I know that feeling. And it's about nervous system regulation. That's the only reason why I'm able to sit here, even though I'm in my swing, which is my safe space. That can only keep me safe for so long. And then I record a couple pieces of content and then I'll be over it. So you get drained before you even get started. Yes, I have my notes here because I need notes. What the fuck? Who said we can't use notes? That's not writer's block. That's mask fatigue. That's mask fatigue. Because you see how I just said I'm using my notes? Somewhere and in some program, some guru, some coach told you, be polished, be professional, have your teleprompter so people won't know that you're looking at another screen to get your information. Well, y'all know I'm looking at a screen to get my information because I just told you that I'm looking at a screen with my notes on it to make sure I stay on track. It ain't a secret. Before, I would have tried to mask that. I would have tried to pretend that I don't have these notes next to me to keep me on track because my autistic brain, can sometimes go on tangents that I'm okay with, but I need these notes to bring me back. So the mask fatigue it'll kill any dream and keep you from recording your content that you need to record. But anyway, so writer's block is not about having ideas. Writer's block is actually like when you have writer's block, when people have writer's block, they say, I know what I want to say. I just can't figure out how to say it. That's typically what writer's block is. Well, mask fatigue is having a plethora of ideas, but no energy to actually execute on them. You sit down to record or to write or to post and you're like, what the fuck? And then sometimes depending on how far gone your self-trust is, you don't even trust yourself anymore. You don't even trust your own internal compass because you don't have somebody to run something past. So you don't even trust the content that you're creating. You don't even trust the post that you're about to make. Is this on brand? Is it not on brand? Should I say this? Should I not say this? Because you have heard so many people tell you, do it like this and do it like that. And don't say it like this and don't say it like that. Protect the brand. That you've lost self-trust. I have a tool for that. It's called the Neurofem Edge. Ask me more about it. If I remember, I'll drop it in the link. I'll drop the link below, or you can DM me the Edge and you'll get it. But it helps to restore your self-trust. But anyway, I digress. See, that's why I got my notes. Somewhere along the way, content creation became synonymous with a persona. Somewhere along the way, you started out as a business owner. You started out as someone that used social media to get your message to the masses. And then you woke up a content creator. I'm not a content creator. I use content. I am a systems creator. I just use content to get my message across to the world, but I am not a content creator. Let's get that clear. So every caption, every post, every hashtag, everything had to be so strategic that you lost trust in yourself and your own ability to, check this out, make mistakes. You lost your ability to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And I know what that feels like because I started out at the top, but not in the way that you think. I started out with people who taught me to start at excellence, which is great. But starting at excellence doesn't leave much room for error. Doing all things in excellence leaves very little to no room for error. And because I had that caliber of excellence to run things past, oh, is this right? Is that right? Should I do this? Should I not do that? I lost my voice very quickly when I became an entrepreneur. So I had to learn all of that shit all over again. Once I severed that partnership, once I severed that relationship, I had to start all over from scratch, learning how to trust my damn self and my own voice. I don't need to run anything past anybody. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Oh, well. Like I tell my kids, if it ain't no blood and nobody died, you're fine. You're fine. So the reason why you get that way is because you're overcoached. You're overcoached, you're underseen, and it's no wonder you're avoiding doing the things that you should be doing because your nervous system is trying to protect you. Your nervous system is protecting you from all of the guilting and the shame that you're going to feel once you hit that post button or once you hit that publish button. You're going to say, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do it wrong? What is this person going to say? And are they going to like it? Let me go back and refresh and see how many likes and comments and shares I have. Your nervous system is protecting you. And so the solution isn't discipline. It is actually, I dare not say this word, systems. I used to hate systems. The solution is not about discipline. It's about creating systems for yourself. It's about creating a system in which you, first of all, recover your self-trust, learn how to trust and listen to your own voice again, unlearn the guru speak, unlearn all of the do's and don'ts that somebody else taught you that just really just washed out all your authenticity. It's not doing a content calendar in the traditional sense, because I do content calendars too, but not in the traditional sense. And again, I have a tool for that. That's over in Twin Fuel. Look that up. The solution is building a brand that doesn't require you to mask in order for it to be successful and for you to maintain it. So content that doesn't cost you. Creating in a way that doesn't punish you for being human. That's systems. That's why I say I'm not a content creator. I'm a systems creator. But I had to make that distinction because I was under the false impression that I was a content creator at one point. I think I even called myself that on some of my social media bios. No, hell no, I'm not a content creator. So I had to create a system that runs on a portion of my capacity. Only 30% of my capacity can go to this. I have a special needs son. Hell, I'm a special needs adult. And so I can't create a business that needs 100% of my capacity. I don't have it. Especially when my son relies on me to be present for him. So you're not lazy. You're not blocked. You haven't lost your edge. You're exhausted from performing fine and being somebody you're not. But the good thing is, we can fix that. That's a solvable problem. Let's talk about it. You can book a free clarity call, slide on my DM. Let's have a conversation about it. Just know, maybe this year your resolution needs to be regulation. Regulating your nervous system enough to where you can actually see and gain clarity on who you are, who the fuck you're talking to, what it is you're doing. Unlearn all the toxic cult of coaching shit that you need to get out of your head. Maybe the answer to that is regulation, because you can't get to there from burnout. It's hard to even see and think clearly when you're in burnout. Hell, you can't even cook and barely wipe your ass when you're in burnout. You need regulation first. Can I tell you something real quick? And it might change everything you thought you knew about yourself and about life. You know too damn much. And it's paralyzing you. You are paralyzed by your expertise. It's called the curse of expertise. Let's talk about it. Every time you post, or every time you go to post, every time you go to say something, it feels obvious to you. It feels like, duh. Because you are no longer your target audience. At one point when you were creating the thing that you're creating, you created it because you were your target audience. You were where they are now. So when you go to create something for them, it's really you creating it for the former version of yourself. So when you hear it or when you see it in your head, you say, well, duh, that's obvious. And then you tell yourself that's not good enough. So one thing that contributed to my burnout very early was when I was a copywriter was all the personas that I had to be. I had to become the personas of the people I was writing for, whoever their audience is. I had to become them. I had to walk like them in my mind and think like them and shop like them and make decisions like them. And I had to do all those things in order for me to write for them, because I could not write from me. I couldn't write it as me because I don't know. I don't need this. This ain't my jig. It's theirs. So I had to, I did say jig. But so I had to become them in order to write for them. I can't write for an audience I don't know. And so the same thing is happening to you. You're writing for an audience that you know, but you're also writing for an audience that you were. Everything you offer feels like you've done it. Like I've been there, done that thing before. And every idea feels stale, and it's not because it actually is stale. It's because you are no longer there. That is no longer a challenge for you. So you have to constantly remind yourself before you go to recreate something else, remind yourself you are not your target audience. You are a version of your target audience, but you are not your target audience. Okay? So stop creating new shit to solve your current problems and thinking, this is what my audience needs. No, they need what you already did. They need what you already overcame. You need that thing over there, but they need this over here. Keep creating that thing, keep pushing that thing out, keep giving them what they need, and stop allowing your expertise to paralyze you. Stop. Break the curse of experience. Dr. Miles Monroe talked about that. I'm going to have to go find that message. He talked about how sometimes experience can be your worst enemy, and it can keep you from being successful. Your knowledge is working against you, long story short. And so you've said these things 1,000 times in your head, and it makes you feel like nobody else needs to hear it. They do. They ain't heard it. It's spinning your head. Push the thing. Release it.